Hi, and welcome to Father Roderick Talks Star Wars. I read a lot of criticism on Chapter 5 of The Mandalorian, The Gunslinger, accusing this episode to be mainly fan service. It's just rehashing locations, lines, and characters from the prequels and of the original movies. Not so fast. I will give you 10 hidden clues that nothing in this episode is what it seems. If you like my weekly breakdowns of The Mandalorian, why not subscribe to this channel? If you click the bell icon, you'll get notified as soon as I've uploaded a new episode. So, here are the 10 clues that nothing is what it seems. Number 1. The dogfight is not what it seems. This awesome dogfight in space at the beginning of the episode is not just a random action scene. It actually predicts the rest of the plot. Let me explain. The hunter seems to have the upper hand, but he underestimates the prey. And then the tables turn, the prey becomes the hunter. The Mandalorian seems to go down in flames, but he surprises the other bounty hunter and kills him in the end. That is what predicts the rest of the episode. Number 2, Tatooine is not what it seems. Tatooine is not the same anymore. It looks the same, very much the same, and that's, I think, what makes it so awesome, and it really feels like the Tatooine that we know from A New Hope, but the situation is reversed in many ways. 2 examples. The once menacing stormtroopers have now been slaughtered, and what's left are helmets on spikes, Game of Thrones style. And then, number 2, the cantina that initially discriminated droids is now run by them. Number 3, Toro Calican is not who he seems to be. Toro Calican first channels Han Solo, an experienced rogue pilot, but he reveals himself to be just a rookie begging for acceptance. Number 4, Baby Yoda is again not who he seems to be. Baby Yoda sleeps when he should be awake and vice versa. A normal child would be freaked out by the dogfight, but Baby Yoda sleeps like Jesus on the boat in the middle of a storm. He looks vulnerable and small, but the Force makes him strong and safe. Another example, before Yoda walks down the ramp towards a startled Kaylee, we hear him make a roaring sound that evokes the Krayt Dragon sound that Obi-Wan makes when he rescues Luke from the Tusken Raiders. Maybe a trick to scare away potential danger. But how can a big shriek like that come from such a small child? Baby Yoda clearly uses the Force. There is so much more to this child than meets the eye. Toro totally miscalculates it. He shrugs when he sees the child and only realizes much, much later that actually that is the true bounty to get. Clue number 5. Kaylee is not who she seems to be. She looks like a lonely, tough mechanic trying to make a buck, only surrounded by pit droids that she has adopted as if they were her children. But however, as soon as she meets Baby Yoda, she transforms into this caring mother figure. And even though she tells us that she's just taking care of Baby Yoda because she wants to make a little bit of extra money, in the end, you see her sigh when she has to say goodbye to Baby Yoda, and you realize that she truly started to care. Clue number 6, the Sand People are not who we thought they were. We only know them as dangerous killers making animal sounds, but in this episode, and I think this is pretty big and pretty epic what they do here, we learn that they consider themselves to be the actual natives of Tatooine. So we always saw them as these dangerous killers, but this explains why they are so aggressive, especially towards humans. Plus, even though it seemed to us that they only communicate with these animal grunts, we discover that they actually have a sophisticated sign language and that they can be negotiated with. Clue number 7, the Dewback is not what it seems to be. It looks like another one of those mythological challenges. This is the beast to tame, another test. But the Dewback reveals itself to be just bait, planned by Fennec, who is the actual danger here. Clue number 8, the Mandalorian is not what he seems. At least to Toro, who thinks that he's just this sleepy old man, and he makes fun of him while he thinks that the Mandalorian is sleeping. However, It is another example that his mistake is that he constantly underestimates everyone. Are you done? From beyond the helmet. It shows that Toro is just an imposter. Clue number 9. Fennec is not what she seems to be. She seems to be taken prisoner. She seems to be the prize, but she turns out to be the ultimate challenge for Toro. She puts him to the ultimate test. She is the snake in the paradise. She is the exemplification of temptation. She uses the classic tactic of the snake in the story of Genesis. She plays with the insecurities of her victim. Despite ample proof, Adam and Eve are tempted by the snake to doubt God's love. That forbidden tree? Looks like he is calling all the shots. Exactly the same here. Despite ample proof that the Mandalorian trusts Toro and accepts him and wants to help him despite his flaws, Fennec lures Toro into believing that he will only truly be accepted by the guild if he hands over and betrays Mando. This is the temptation here. First, think of yourself, and then she offers to be his new teacher. Reminds you of something? There can only be two, a master and an apprentice. But even this, and this is clue number 10, this betrayal is not what it seems. It looks as if we're getting a repeat here of the always two there are rule. It seems to echo Anakin's betrayal of Obi-Wan to accept Palpatine as his new master. And here it looks as if Toro, the apprentice, betrays his teacher, his master, to accept Fennec as his new master. But then he shoots her instead. Evil punishes itself. This is a betrayal, a double betrayal by the apprentice of both teachers. Well, that wraps up my 10 clues that nothing is what it seems, but there is one bonus clue, and it is the biggest of the episode, and of course we need to talk about that. Who is that mysterious figure at the end of the episode? Well, nothing is what it seems. We thought that Boba Fett was dead, and yet I think that this mysterious person kneeling next to Fennec's body is Boba Fett. Here's the hint. We hear the sound of spurs. That is the giveaway. This must be Boba Fett. George Lucas initially wanted the sound of spurs whenever we hear and see Boba Fett walking in The Empire Strikes Back. Why? Because, according to George Lucas, Boba Fett would be some kind of an intergalactic Clint Eastwood. In other words, he is the real gunslinger from the title. So even the title is not what it seemed to be. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments whether A, you think this episode was rubbish and just fan service, or B, maybe I have a point and there could be more to this episode than you initially thought. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for sharing this episode, and I hope to see you next week when we discuss Chapter 6 of The Mandalorian. Thanks for watching. May the Force be with you. God